Right now it is 4:20. Supreme Court hearing. This was specifically regarding Proposition 8 in California, which bans gay marriage. Basically, the justices says, we don't even know if we have the right to be hearing this case. Let's bring in Angela Giampolo. She is a gay rights attorney. Angela, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, Brandon.
All right. I'm glad you could be here. One of the things that struck me about, and I'll tell you off the bat, I have no problem with gays and homosexuals. I'm not in favor of gay marriage, and I don't have a scientific explanation as to why I'm against gay marriage. But this occurred to me. One of the guys arguing, Charles Cooper, arguing on behalf of California, a judge had asked him, I think it was about a year ago, said, Mr. Cooper, how does gay marriage affect you? And his answer, Angela, he stumbled and hemmed and hawed and said, I don't know. So why is it that people are so adamant against gay marriage?
Well, just to clarify for the listeners, the word, and it was used a lot in the Supreme Court hearings as well, but calling gay people homosexuals went out in the 70s.
Okay.
So it's not gays and homosexuals. We just happen to be gay. But, I think there's a huge moral issue, and I think it's fear and discrimination that's cloaked in a coat of morality, if you will. If this was really a moral issue of defending the procreation, furthering procreation, or defending marriage, then we'd be looking at banning divorce, right? We wouldn't be looking at trying to ban other loving individuals from getting married and from forming legal and strong family units in this country. So, I really think it's based in fear and in discrimination.
All right, and I know a lot of folks, they'll revert to the Bible, which would be fine, but that is not the Constitution of the United States, and I'm not supposed, my contract says I'm not supposed to quote Bible verses on the show, so I'm not going to, but I will read a little bit from the Bible. It says things like, a marriage shall be considered valid only if the wife is a virgin. If the wife is not a virgin, she shall be executed. Marriage of a believer and a non-believer shall be forbidden. So there are some things like that I don't think are practiced anymore. So I think, and again, coming from somebody, I am not a fan of gay marriage. I think a lot of those arguments are old and should be thrown out the window.
Well, and in Leviticus, it also says that, man shall not eat shellfish. And I had an awesome surf and turf meal yesterday. And so technically I could go to hell for that, as opposed to the fact that I ate it with my, partner. So I think using the Bible as the be all end all for your argument, either for or against gay marriage, is, like you said, it's old. But let me ask you, let me try to probe and see if I can get you to articulate, in any sort of intellectual way, what is your issue with gay? You're asking me, a lesbian and obviously an LGBT advocate, what I think the issue with gay marriage is, but you have an issue with it. So it's better for you and I to have the conversation where I'm asking you as opposed to you asking me. What do you think your issue with it is?
And here's the thing, and this is why I was telling producer Paul Stadden before the show started, I said, I don't know why I'm against it. I have nothing against gays or any of that. But I think maybe, if I think real hard about it, maybe it's because a lot of men are very visual people, right? For example, and I know a lot of married men especially will not admit this, you see an attractive woman in public, you might start kind of visualize and start imagine. We're very imaginative creatures. And I think that might be some of it. You start imagining things that you don't want to imagine.
So, okay, so let's just take your reasoning and accept it and say that, that's your personal reasoning for it. But above and beyond what it makes you feel, above and beyond what you may envision, what you may visualize, either if you see a lesbian couple walking by or attempting to have to visualize, two gay men having sex, whatever that does to you personally as a visual creature, there are 500,000 people out there in same-sex unions without legal and financial protections, right? I mean, in California alone, there are 37,000 kids being raised by same-sex couples that their family is not as safe. I don't know if you're married, but their families aren't as safe legally and financially as their straight counterparts because they don't have this right. So it's one thing for you to say, it doesn't make you feel good and you don't like thinking about it. I mean, in 1950s, it didn't make people feel good to see black people ride a bus.
I know, and they used listen, when it came to interracial marriage back in that time, they used all the same arguments. I've got 10 seconds here, Angela. I want to ask you, you said you're gay. You said your partner. Is there a certain protocol that's supposed to be used when you say, you didn't say your girlfriend or your boyfriend. You said partner. Is there a certain protocol that gay couples use when it says my partner, my girlfriend?
I think it's a completely personal thing. I mean, I have girlfriends. They are girls that happen to be my friends. So straight people don't always get it when you say, oh, my girlfriend and I, they just assume it's a girl who's a friend. So something like partner and then wife doesn't obviously apply. And then there would be no other word that I would use.
All right. Angela Giampolo, gay rights attorney. Thank you for joining us on the show today. I appreciate your candidness.
Absolutely. You as well. Take care.